Broad looking for his second wicket. Short gets the glove away and well taken at short leg, and that's the end of the innings. Stoneman in there doing a great job, great reflexes, and the CA11 are all out for 250. Stuart Broad gets his second wicket. He'd be pleased with the early finish. Sandhu coming in once again. And nicely worked off the pads out to the boundary for 4. Good shot from Alastair Cook. Conway no chance of stopping that, so cricket thing. Nicely driven, wide and mid-on, right off the middle. Good timing again for Alastair Cook. And it reaches the rope. So a good over for England. 11 runs coming from it. 10 of those to Alastair Cook, finding some really good form in this over. As the plane flies away, Stoneman pulls out through backward square leg. Should be a boundary. First rim in this innings. A pretty effortless shot, wasn't it, Bill?
Just a flick off the thigh pad.
End of the last over, so keep an eye on that. Oh, nicely played again off the pads, and that'll be 4. So Stoneman, his third boundary in the last 3 overs, took full advantage of that ball on his pads.
Hasn't quite cracked a spot in the permanent Tasmanian side, but gets his chance in the Cricket Australia 11.
And cut away past the diving point, down to the boundary for 4. So Stoneman again finding the rope. 5 fours now for him in his 24. All those boundaries. And he goes the aerial again, back past the bowler. And that should nearly make it. It does. So Stoneman really looking to be aggressive here. Up to 37. 7 fours now for him. And a cut shot. And that'll race away to the boundary. Stoneman brings up his 50. So a good shot from him. Half century for Mark Stoneman. 4 from 4 in this tour. And he's going on very nicely. 66 balls, 8 fours.
And nice bit of applause coming from the crowd. They've appreciated the good innings that they've seen from Stoneman already. Nice 4-day test matches in a series.
Driven. Backward a point out towards the boundary. That'll bring up the 100 for England. Alastair Cook, his first boundary for about an hour and a half, moves along to 37. Women on tomorrow as Cook pulls out through forward square leg. Gets the single. So that will be lunch as the clock has just ticked over to 12 o'clock. Umpire Wilson calling time. So a very good session for England here in Townsville. Warm conditions once again. 67 for Stoneman. Oh, off the edge, down towards third man. That should race away to the rope. And it does. 10th 4 for Stoneman. Moves along to 71. England no wicket for 126. Driving, and that'll be his 50. So the half century for Alastair Cook. 91 balls and 3 fours. And some good form from the former England captain.
Yep, and some good cheering coming on. I don't know if he's got members of his family out here or not, but there were quite a few people that cheered that single for the half century. So he's got plenty of fans up here in Townsville.
So Sandhu continuing, 4th over his spell. And a lovely looking cover drive out to the boundary for 4. So a celebration of his half century, Alastair Cook. Half volley, sending it to the rope. Starting his 7th over. And out, caught behind. Umpire Wilson eventually puts the finger up. So the first wicket for the Cricket Australia 11 with the score on 172. Alastair Cook out for 70. Cutting. And well stopped. No, it went through the gully, down to the boundary for 4. I thought he'd stop that, Matty Short. That's nicely played. He'll have to chase that one as it brings up the 200 for England. Lovely shot from James Vince. England won for 203 in the 49th over. So
good captaincy by Short.
So in comes Conway, bowls to Stoneman, works it off the pads, and that's his 100. First 100 for the tour for England. And it's brought up by Mark Stoneman. 100 of 140 deliveries with 12 fours. So Gurinder Sandhu, last ball of this over. Stoneman works that away nicely. Beautifully timed shot out through mid-wicket. That should be a boundary.
Just hedging his...
An appeal for a catch. Umpire Wilson saying no. A bit of a consultation coming up here between the umpires. Daniel Fallon's umpires coming together. Let's have a look at the replay. Down the leg side. Pop up. That looks like it's caught at short leg off the edge of the bat. So James Vince out for 26. Eager into Sandy by England captain Joe Root. And a good over completed there by the speedster from the Cricket Australia 11 and New South Wales. So a couple of wickets in that session for the Cricket Australia 11. Now an appeal for caught and bowled. And he's given it. So quite a similar looking dismissal to what we saw in James Vince. Full bunger again. And he gets a pass short this time down to the boundary for 4. So he can't keep getting away with the full tosses. Sanger bowls to Root. In the air over mid-wicket. And that'll go down to the boundary for 4. Just crossing the rope now. Malenko. Leg side, worked away nicely. So the half century for Joe Root. Good innings, 73 balls, 4 fours. Good stuff for the England captain. Second half century of the tour. Oh, nicely bowled. Thick edge down through third man. That's going to race away for 4. So the outfield's still pretty quick here. Driving, pass backward point, down to the boundary for 4.
It landed just in front of our friend at point.
Catch. Shot from Root. And through the covers, out of the boundary for 4. So a real trademark shot. We've seen it a lot from the England captain the last few years. And his 6th point. Slow ball, well bowled. And a single to Milan. He's going to bring up his 50. So nicely played by the England left-hander. 87 balls. Just the 2 fours, but it's been a good innings from Darwood Milan and the 4th batsman for England today to pass the half-century mark. Edge just short of the slips, and it races down to the boundary for 4. So a bit of heartbreak for Harry there.
Darwood plays it, Milan plays it straight down the ground for a maiden over. The last over finishes as a maiden, 3 for 337. England in reply to the Cricket Australia 11's all out for 250. Joe Root finishing on 62, Milan finishing on 57 at the end of a long day.